Hi, I'm Christine Cushing. Welcome to another helping of My Favorite Foods. Well, the vote is in and it is unanimous. After last week's vibrant pesto genovese recipe, you asked for ricotta gnocchi, and here they are. Let's go. First things first, let's talk about how do we pronounce these little pillows of goodness. So my rule of thumb, when any word, recipe, ingredient is from a foreign language, I try to pronounce it as close as I can to how they do in that language. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but please, no gnocchi. No gnocchi. Gnocchi. Gnocchi are usually made with potatoes, and of course I have a recipe for that, so check the video out if you want to learn how to make the traditional potato gnocchi. But these ones are made with ricotta, which are technically Gnudi, which means naked in Italian. So why do they call it Gnudi? Because it's really essentially the filling of a pasta, like a ravioli, without the pasta, so it's naked. Now for the main ingredient, ricotta, this is where you can run into a lot of trouble. So it's really important to find the right kind of ricotta. Ricotta in Italian just means recooked. And what's so cool about this ingredient, I love ricotta, it's so resourceful. It's actually a cheese that's a byproduct of another cheese. So cheese is made, we all know the curds and whey story, from the whey that's left over in the cheese making process. They recook that and you make ricotta. I mean, how resourceful is that? I have my local Italian grocery store that I go to that brings it in daily in little baskets. And here's the key. Okay, you might not have that option, but if you're buying a packaged ricotta, pre-packaged, you want to make sure that it's nice and dry. So what does that mean? The ricotta comes in these baskets. There is extra water that is drained out. If that water isn't drained out, you're going to have a mess on your hands and you're going to be, what's wrong? Your recipe's not good. Of course the recipe's good, but this is the step you want to ensure that you take. Let me show you. Now you see in the bottom here, this is just liquid from about a couple of hours of draining. So sometimes while I'm doing something else, if I notice that my ricotta is a little bit wet, I also want to start with a full fat ricotta, no low fat, and you want to make sure in the ingredient list you see whey. Because a lot of times ricotta is misnamed ricotta, but it's actually made from milk, which is not technically ricotta. That's another story. Now you can see how dry this is. Perfect. I like to break it up with a fork. Look at the texture of it. It's not creamy at all. That's ideal. I'm pre-beating the egg so that I don't have to mess with it too much once I blend it in with the ricotta. Again, still working with the fork at this point. You can see it's still dry. I'm adding a little Parmigiano Reggiano, just seasoning with some salt and pepper. That Parmigiano is going to give me depth, a little bit of umami, just kick up the flavor a bit. All the flour you see here is what's listed in the recipe to the higher amount, and I'm adding it a little at a time and going to work it with a spatula to start. Just until it comes together, then I turn it out. Now here, normally I would use bench flour as a separate amount of flour. This is what's included in the recipe, so don't add too much. Now the key to success here is in the kneading. Imagine what I'm kneading is hot to the touch. So I knead it, and then it's hot, 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 let go of it. I knead it, gather it together, still hot, let go of it. Now here, you don't want a firm hand as though you're kneading, let's say, bread or pasta, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose that beautiful airy texture, and you're probably going to use way too much flour, and they're going to be tough. Always want to make sure I keep my area clean because this ricotta can stick to your hands. So you want to make sure you wipe that extra ricotta off, start with a clean surface, more flour, and now we cut. This is semola rimacinata. It is just finely milled semolina from Italy. It's what they would make pasta out of. And it's ideal here to sprinkle on the sheet to keep them separate and to actually allow them to absorb a little bit more of that moisture in the dough. If you don't have it, you can use flour, of course. Look at the texture inside. So incredible. Now this bench flour, again, that I'm adding is part of the original amount that's listed in the recipe. So I'm in fact rolling them, but allowing them to absorb the remaining flour at the same time. Don't you just love the little pyramids? They're light and pillowy, and I love the angular shape. It looks a little bit different on the plate, and they hold together really, really well. So now I want to take these to the freezer, minimum of an hour, couple of hours, overnight, even better. Okay, so now I'm going to put my water on to boil, and I'm going to start my sauce. Did I mention it's something a little bit different? I'm all about options, so I urge you to make this gnocchi recipe with last week's pesto genovese. It's killer. But for a completely different experience, check this out. How is it that you can put butter and garlic in a pan, cook it for 30 seconds, and it's just magical? Why is that? Now I swirl this until it just starts to go what's called noisette. You see that in the corner? I don't want to take it any further than that. And now I add my parsley, which has been patted dry. It's popping a bit because I left a little bit of water in it. Oh, does this smell amazing? Now I'm going to remove the garlic and take it immediately off the heat. I don't want to brown it anymore. At this point, my gnocchi are ready. So 3 minutes, rapidly boiling, everything's floated to the top. Whoa, this is gonna be amazing. Now, because these are delicate, I don't want the cheese to stick, so I bring the sauce to the gnocchi instead of tossing it in the pan. Guess what time it is? I'm going to taste right now. I'm not going to lie, that brown butter is ridiculous. And the crispy parsley, I mean, you got to try this fast. Frying that parsley gives a whole other dimension to this dish flavor-wise. So what's it going to be? Pesto? Brown butter. You're going to have to decide for yourself. Thanks for joining me on another helping of My Favorite Foods. Run out and make this gnocchi. Let me know how it is. Let me know what's happening in your kitchen. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Smiling.